Hello, class. This will be our last YouTube video of the semester, and we'll conclude with our brief look in section 13.1, where we're looking at one-way ANOVAs. All right, what does ANOVA stand for? ANOVA is an acronym, and it comes from the words analysis of variance. All right, so what are we going to do? Well, we're going to analyze the variance. It's a method of testing the equality of three or more population means So we're actually testing the means, and how are we doing this? By analyzing sample variances. We'll save the majority of the mathematics for our class discussion, but what we're going to use is we're going to use a new distribution, the F distribution. Distribution is skewed to the right, and that's going to be helpful because similar to our chi-squared test, we're looking at differences. So we'll have zero or positive values. What will our null hypothesis, what will our hypothesis test look like? Well, our null hypothesis will assume that the different mu's from the different populations are the same. Don't know how many of those we'll have, so we'll call those K. And our alternative hypothesis will say, at least one of them is different. At least one of the mu i's is different. They don't have to all be different, just one of them, and that will upset the balance of power. Our F distribution in broad ranges is the variance between the samples and its relationship between the variance within the samples. If we were to get the notation down a little bit closer, to find the variance between the samples, we need to take n and times it by the variance of x bars. And if we were to look at the variance within the samples, we would need to find the variance of the pooled sample. We would have 2 degrees of freedom if we were looking at this a little bit closer. The degrees of freedom in the numerator would be k minus 1, where k is the number of samples. And the degrees of freedom in the denominator would be the formula k times n minus 1, where n minus 1 is the sample size. All right. We'll take a look at some specific examples in class. I'll look for your questions on the discussion board. See you soon.